Hey guys, this is test 52 game 3. This is the short and long seminars game. It is an ordering game because we're taking the 6 seminars GOPHNT and assigning them to one of 6 spaces here. Now I've laid out AM and PM, although the game does not specifically refer to morning and afternoon. I do this simply to orient the diagram here, just because we have on each of days 1, 2, and 3, we have one seminar coming before another. So morning is before, PM is after on the same day itself. They tell us that we have exactly one short and long seminar each day. So I put down that for each day we have a short followed by long, or a long followed by short. They tell us that T doesn't go until both G and O go, meaning that G and O go earlier than T. We know that P goes earlier than N. Of course, P and N could still be on the same day, and one of G or O could still be on the same day as T. However, we can infer that T never goes on day 1 because it has to have at least 2 things coming before it. So the earliest T could ever go would actually be the afternoon of day 2, due to the fact that G and O are both short, so they cannot both be on day 1. So this right here is our initial setup for the game. Of course, we'll do a lot more over the course of the questions themselves. Now, question number 13 is a typical orientation question. We're just taking one rule at a time and applying that rule to all 5 choices, looking for violations. So one thing we can do, of course, is check for compliance with the rule that G and O both go before T. So scanning through the choices, looking for violations of that, we can eliminate A off the bat due to the fact that G is coming after both O and T there. And we can also eliminate choice E due to the fact that O is coming after T. So A and E are gone off the bat from that rule. We also know that P has to go earlier than N, so any diagram in which N comes before P can automatically be eliminated. And we find that in choice C we have N going before P, so C is gone for that reason. Down to B and D, we can make use of the rule that we have to have a short and long on every single day. So looking at choice D, we have G and O on the same day, but G and O are both short seminars. We need a short and a long on day 1, so D is gone, leaving B by elimination for number 13. Next, number 14, if G was on day 1. So if G is on day 1, automatically we know we've got to have O and P on day 2 and day 3, either O on 2, P on 3, or P on 2, O on 3. Didn't flesh it out fully yet, but that's the state of affairs we have right now. Now they're asking us what could be true. Could we have N on 1? Well, if G and N were together on 1, P would certainly be coming after N, not before. So for that reason, A is gone off the bat. We know that O and P have to be on 2 and 3. Neither could be on day 1. So for that reason, B and C are automatically eliminated. Next, looking at D, H on day 2. Might not seem impossible at first glance, but let's put it into practice and see what happens. So I'll just throw some things down here. If we have G on 1 and H on 2, right away, H is long. We have N and T remaining for longs. We can't have T on 1. Therefore, we're going to have T on 3 and N on 1. But the problem we run into here, of course, is that P is not going before N, and T could not be on 1, so T had to be on 3. So for that reason, H on 2 is impossible, leaving E by elimination for number 14. And T on day 2 works perfectly fine if we had, 3 spaces. Again, G on 1, and we had T on 2. We could still have O over here. It'd work out fine. Not really a problem at all. We could have P before N. P would have to go on day 3, but we could have N going, because of G, O, and P are all shorts. N goes on 3, H goes on 1, works out perfectly fine, so E. If N is sometime before O, well, we already know that P is before N, so P before N before O becomes the longer chain sequence here that we have for this question. They're asking us what must be true. So we know that they're laid out somehow, but we don't even know how they're laid out among the 3 days, because we could have more than one of them on a particular day. So they're asking us what must be true. Scanning through the choices, C jumps out because it says P before O, which we know has to be the case, so C is our answer for 15. Next, number 16, what cannot be the second seminar on the second day? So they're referring to this space right here, of course. Nothing immediately comes to mind, so I'll just run through the choices. If we were to put H over here, we could perhaps have G, then O, then P, then N. Well, that's not going to work, because then we're going to have T over here. but T can't ever be on 1 because we got to have both G and O before it. So putting that particular arrangement isn't going to work. What if instead we put P on 1, G on 2, O on 3, G and O are before T with T here, then we had N there. Works out perfectly fine. Therefore, it is possible to have H on that space, so A is eliminated. Next, looking at B, P on the second day of the second seminar on the second day. Could that work? Well, if P was there, we'd have to have N coming after it on 3 somewhere. We'd have to have G and O separated on 1 and 3. Doesn't really matter how we do it. They're somewhat interchangeable. We could put G on 1, O on 3. T has to come after G and O, so T would have to come here. So there wouldn't be any room for N to go on day 3 as well, which it needs to do due to the P before N rule. Therefore, it is impossible to have P in this space, so B is our answer for 16. Next, number 17, if H was on day 2. So they're just saying in general, if we had H on day 2, of course, that means we got to have N and T spaced on 1 and 3. And T can't be on 1 because of the GO rule, so therefore we have to have N on 1, placing T on 3. So here's the layout of the 3 things. Then we've got to have, of course, G and O as well as P. Now, if N's on 1, we got to have P before it on 1 as well, so we're going to have P on morning of 1, N on afternoon of 1. Then we have, H somewhere here. We have G and O going interchangeably on 2 and 3. We don't really know which way they're going, so it's G/O, O/G, as long as we have O and G before T, so therefore T is going to be here. One of O or G will be on the morning of 3, and then we have G/O and H interchangeable on 2. So what could be the case? Could T be on 1? No, T's never on 1, so A's gone. N on 2, no, N's on 1, so B's gone. T on 2, no, T has to be on 3. O on 3, yeah, that could happen, so D's our answer for 17. I would look at E though. P on 3, no, P's on 1, so it can go before N, so E's gone, leaving D.